Should be very soon.
Alright, looks like we're starting. One thing that needs to be noted immediately is that we're timing the races using in-game time. And that's what both of the timers are judging here. This is because load time in this game can be differing based on what kind of hardware you have. So to keep things more fair, the developers put in an in-game speedrunning timer, and it's very useful. It's what we time everything in this game with.
Yeah, and there's going to be also a timer in the top right of each player's screen, and that's the segment timer.
So yeah, even though a runner might look ahead, they might not actually be because of load times.
So yeah, starting out here, we're just going to grab 2 yarn so we can craft a sprint hat, because we can use that to go very fast. And we're actually going to craft the hat during the timepiece spawning animation by crafting it and then unpausing. And the 2 animations will play at the same time.
So in this game, there are 3 different chapters we do in the any % speedrun. The first one being Mafia Town, and it's all separated into individual acts. And throughout this run, we want to be conscious of our pawn count, as well as collecting yarn to craft some of the hats. Depending on what route these runners use, you'll be needing the brewing hat and the ice hat, as well as the sprint hat, which we just got earlier.
And depending what route these guys take, will vary the amount of pawns they're going to need to get, because depending on the route, you could need a lot of pawns or very little.
So Headstrong is going for the first ticket dupe of the run. If you grab a ticket in your invincibility frames after getting hit by an enemy, you can dupe that ticket. And that allows us to open up that vault and get some pawns as well as a yarn. We do that later in the run too. And it's definitely very useful. Helps saves a lot of time.
Now Headstrong is going to be doing the same thing we did in Welcome to Mafia Town, crafting the brewer hat here. And the reason we get the brewer hat here and do level 3 before level 2 is so we can use the brewer hat against the boss to kill it faster. It saves a bit of time there.
My stream just froze on my end, but this Mafia right here that both players are chasing is basically luck-based in the amount of pawns that he drops at certain intervals. You're going to want him to drop as many pawns as possible, but he'll drop usually between 3 and 5. And there's really not much either runner can do about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, my streamer also froze there for a bit.
So Headstrong does have a slight lead over Dylan in Mafia Town. We'll have to see how well she can hold it for the rest of the run. There's many things, especially later, that could possibly throw both the runners off track.
I believe it was 6 seconds after Dylan left. She came from outer space. So it's not, not too big of a difference.
That seems about right. So this is the first mini-boss of the run. It's technically a boss fight, but many consider it not to be. It's more of a mini-boss, really. And Headstrong will be using the brewing hat here to help speed up this part here where you have to hit the Mafia. The way the Mafia work in this game is that they don't allow you to kill them using just the same attack. They force you to vary up your moveset. And if you punch them and use that brewing hat, that is the fastest combination to kill them. And at this point, the top Mafia is going to be throwing down barrels. And if you stand in a certain spot on the barrel pile, they will just not hit you. So Headstrong will be just sitting here for roughly 30 seconds before moving on to the final part of the fight.
Yeah, sometimes the barrels can hit you, but you don't really have too big of a chance of dying here. So it's pretty safe to just stand there.
Heads up, little punk! Do not think about avoiding perils.
So what you saw Dylan doing just now was switching hats on the D-pad. A cool thing about this game is that it allows you to quickly switch between your hats. There's no excessive menuing required.
Stand still.
So you can quickly go from the sprint hat to the brewing hat, or whatever hat you want to use at a certain point. Headstrong finishing with a 426 barrel battle. Looks like Dylan will still be trailing behind a little bit.
And the game has a feature where you can turn on auto-skippable cutscenes, but for some cutscenes you have to manually skip them still, and what Headstrong just did is she actually just exited out early there to be able to skip that cutscene that normally isn't skipped for you by going back to the hub.
So now both runners are going to be doing the first real boss fight. And before we get to the fight itself, we have to go through the Mafia base and do a few things there. There's a few skips coming up too that are pretty nice.
Yeah, Headstrong getting the double there against those Mafia guys.
That's a small little time saver. Get a 2-for-1.
So we're just going to go grab that bucket from the top there by getting onto that lamp, and we can get up there pretty easily and quickly, and we just need the bucket to grab the key from the cage and then bring it to this door over here.
That jump can be a little risky because the Mafia are throwing cans at you, and if they hit you, they'll be sending you down and it will stun you for a few seconds. So now Headstrong and maybe Dylan's going to be going for a skip that skips this cutscene as well as a small Mafia fight. Unfortunately, it looks like Headstrong messed it up and will be going the traditional way. We'll have to see what Dylan will do in a few moments here. It's not that much of a time loss, fortunately, but it does look cool and it does save time as well.
Definitely looks cool.
We'll have to see how Dylan does it here. And he successfully got it. Nice.
Yep, without any wall climbs too, so it's a couple extra seconds saved there.
So this fight is luck-based in a way, unfortunately. The amount of sandbags that the Mafia guy sends down is mostly random, and unfortunately not much can be done about it.
Yeah, you're guaranteed at least 2, but the max you can get is also 4. And I believe the same goes for the screams that he does.
Yeah, there's that too. So for the first few cycles, we're just going with the motions, going along with the fight. But pretty soon, the runners will be doing a quick kill. Looks like Headstrong might be going for it pretty soon, in a few moments. Looks like she's getting a few extra sandbags by the looks of it. So in this quick kill, you just go to the edge of the stage and hold your brewing hat, and once he clips inside of you and throws you to the left, he just falls to the ground and hits the death barrier. And bam, that's the timepiece. Looks like Dylan also successfully got it.
And then on this level, they're also going to be saving and exiting to hub here to save a few extra seconds because there's also a cutscene here that doesn't get auto-skipped.
It's kind of weird how some cutscenes don't apply to that, but I think in later versions of the game it was fixed, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It is kind of weird.
Just a slight oversight when the game was initially released. And both runners here are running on 1.0 because on this version of the game, you can do a skip in the final level. That saves so much time that it makes pretty much every other build slower. And that will be explained more in detail once both runners get there.
Yeah, I think Dylan entered 5 seconds earlier than Headstrong, actually.
All right, allow me to change that.
Now. And here there was a possibility that they'd be going for a route differentiation, just by preference. But they both chose to do a sewers first here.
There's a couple instances in a run where the order doesn't really matter that much, if at all. So it's kind of cool you have some freedom with that. And these levels that both runners are doing right now are called time rifts. And these are Super Mario Sunshine inspired levels with a lot of movement tech to it, especially. Oh, and Dylan fell. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He was right at the end, too.
Yeah, really brutal checkpoints here.
And it looks like Headstrong has regained the lead.
Yeah, these levels are really cycle-based too, so if you miss it by a little, you're gonna have to wait.
So, Headstrong is going to be going for the double dupe in this level. Let's see if she gets it. Nice. Very well executed.
So what that trick involves is you go into that clock tower, and we purposely want to fall from a very large height to gain those invincibility frames we were talking about before. And there's two ways of doing it, I believe, and one is an SDJ off the clock tower, and I think you can get it with a DSJ too. And essentially what an SDJ is normally when you jump while you're sprinting, you do a sprint jump and you're not allowed to double jump. But by timing releasing a sprint and then jumping directly after, you can get the speed and distance of a sprint jump while also maintaining your double jump. So using that, we can grab a duplicated ticket there.
Dylan will be going the more traditional way of doing this. And he'll still be going for the dupe at the end because that is rather easy. You just have to stand on the torch and then grab the ticket.
At the end of this level, you want to make sure you have 100 pawns, because we're going to need 100 to enter Heating Up Mafia Town, which Headstrong's already done.
Do you know if Headstrong will be going for the new strat in this level?
I'm not sure, but she did pick up the relic there, so we do know that she's going for Paradeless.
So, rather recently, the amazing community for this game found a way to route out one of the longest auto-scrollers known to mankind. And in place of it are some rather fun levels, like Toilet of Doom and Snatcher.
Yes, they are very great.
Not to say Big Parade isn't great, but those levels are a bit more high energy. And there's some really cool glitches in those.
Yeah, I really like the pacing with the new route. It feels faster. Well, it is faster, but it feels much faster than how much faster it really is. Yeah, it looks like Dylan's also going for it. In this level, we intentionally died to warp because after we get the faucets, we get a checkpoint, except for the last faucet, and we can abuse these checkpoints to send us back to the start because it's much faster than actually walking there ourselves. And what they did in this level is they actually collected a relic from the chest there by one of the faucets, and we're going to need this relic to craft it. Not sure what it's called, but I know we make a hamburger, and that unlocks a purple rift that we'll be entering later to grab a quick time piece.
I don't remember what the official term for it. It's just like a little plushy hamburger. It's really cute. Goes in your spaceship. It's like a decoration, and you can bounce on it and do jumps. So Headstrong is now going to be going for the Bizarre Rift. And that will be the final one these runners are going to do before heading off into Chapter 3 of A Hat in Time. The reason why we do Chapter 3 before Chapter 2 is because we get an item in Chapter 3 that allows us to complete a certain mission in Chapter 2, and it's more efficient to do it out of order like that because of it.
Yeah, and we'll be back to Mafia Town later to grab a few other timepieces. The reason we don't do them now is because we don't have the pawns to do them.
Apparently chat's saying that the relic is a cheeseburger, not a hamburger. I forgot it had cheese on it.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
So yeah, Headstrong exiting with about a 1308. I'd have to say Dylan's maybe 30 seconds behind at least.
Sounds about right. Now we're going to be talking to, I think the name is Cooking Cat, and they're going to talk to us about the relics here.
Cooking Cat is here.
And that's why we grabbed the relic from meeting at Mafia Town. And we'll be building the relic later just because it's more efficient to do it in this way.
I'm pretty sure Headstrong is going to be going for bag skip in this level. And what that skip is that in this level you're basically trapped in a bag for 30 seconds. And then after that you have to watch kind of a long-ish cutscene with the Snatcher. But this skip right here basically goes above the trigger where you get captured by the bag. It's rather hard, and there's a lot of precise platforming involved with it. So let's see.
If you miss it too.
She gets it.
Well, it looks like she doesn't get the SDJ.
No. So yeah, she'll just be going for the intended way. Dylan can possibly catch up if he decides to go for it and gets it successfully. So yeah, this is the Snatcher, and in the game you basically give him your soul and you have to do contracts for him, which are other words for sets of acts you can do. And in this run we kind of abuse that a little bit. We kind of go off the contract. That's a way to word it. And you do acts that you're typically not supposed to do. We do a few sequence breaks with that.
So yeah, with bag skip we wouldn't get that contract, but we didn't need it because we could just complete Subcon well anyway. Yeah, it doesn't look like Dylan's going for bag skip. So I guess both of these runners will be finishing with 1 soul each.
I'll borrow you real quick.
Headstrong's also going to be going for what is called a cherry death warp. Oh my, what the heck?
Oh, no. I hate that tree.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, there's a little hole there. It's really hard to see the lighting. She's at 4 health right now, so I'm not sure if she's going for it. If she is, she
maybe
might
not.
take it here. Yeah, it doesn't.
Alright, yeah. Headstrong will not be doing it. In this level, you can actually kill Hat Kid during the timepiece cutscene using a cherry bomb. And that allows you to go straight to the Subcon well without going back to the spaceship. Which is a pretty neat skip. I'm interested in seeing if Dylan will go for it.
Looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, he has 2 health. Oh, he
Oh.
looks like he missed the painting throw up there. I had a feeling he might have missed it. It's really easy to, misjudge where you're throwing on this.
Yeah, and then the paintings time out if you leave them alone for too long.
Yeah, Dylan is going for it. So he'll be bringing the cherry up to the top of that tree. And he's going to be igniting it using a spirit on top of the circular platform across from it.
Now what Headstrong is going to be doing here is, I don't really know what it's called, but it's like a well entrance, and what we do essentially is we dive in between the well and the tree there, and because the geometry really there is really tight, it kind of launches us upward because it doesn't know where else to put us, and it gives us a lot of speed, and we can get on top of the well without activating the bell.
So the subcon well is a really interesting speedrun level because it's really vertical and there's a lot of hook shotting. It's very fun. It's also quite broken. You do many of the sections the unintentional way.
Yeah, we get the hook shot here, so we can make very quick work of the level.
And the hook shot is the reason why we do this chapter before chapter 2. Looks like Dylan also got the zip, and he'll be going into the well. So in this sequence here, you can maneuver Hat Kid using keyboard and mouse while the contract screen's up, which is pretty funny. And that's fast compared to using controllers because you don't have to spend time exiting that.
Yeah, we don't have to watch the timepiece collection cutscene. We can just exit straight to hub after picking it up.
Well, to see what level Headstrong goes for. Might be Vanessa. Yeah, it seems like it.
Yes.
So, as we mentioned earlier, you can go to Queen Vanessa without entering the contract. And I think this Snatcher Trap is part of the new Toilet of Doom route. You get that contract here, and it's on the way to Vanessa, so it's rather convenient.
Another option you can have is do mail delivery first, get the contract there, and then using the contract we can actually spawn in Toilet of Doom, which is actually a faster spawn for VANESSA'S. So let's see what Dylan does going in here.
So on Headstrong's feed, she is jumping over a bunch of walls here and basically skipping a bunch of bells that you have to ring and then jump up some platforms. If you're familiar with this game on a casual level, you'll know that this upcoming level is quite scary, but the runners here are going to be doing a skip where you don't have to do any of it.
Yeah, it looks like Dylan's going for mail delivery first. It's just slightly faster because we get a better spawn for one level. And what he's doing right here is, wait, he's not lined up actually. He's going to be lining up a shot right here off that guy that it'll give him a double hit. There's a little marker on the ground. I believe you can have to have decals on to see it. And if you line yourself up properly, you can get 2 guys for the price of 1. It's not just Dylan's going to be getting the toilet contract that Headstrong got on Queen Vanessa's Manor.
Dylan is holding his ground here. He's not that far behind. And if Headstrong messes up at some point, he could easily get the lead back, depending on what happens, of course. So Toilet of Doom is a new addition to the route because there is a way to quick kill it. And the way runners do that is rather humorous. Rather funny.
Definitely interesting method.
May not be the way you might expect. So the toilet goes into the floor, and you just go to your graphic settings and change the environment detail, and it's dead.
That's it. We did it.
The fight's over. Why does it work? I don't know. But
crazy.
It does.
Okay, good. Dylan didn't forget to cook the hook shot like I do all the time.
Yeah, this is definitely a really easy strat. You just got to be really smooth with your menuing.
Yeah, make sure to buffer that pause.
Did Dylan's game crash? What happened?
No, that happens sometimes. I'm not sure what causes it, but what happens kind of is like you get that thing where like you have the contract screen up and the timepiece is there, and what happens is the animation just didn't play, but I don't know, the game was still playing in the background even though the animation wasn't playing. It's kind of strange. So like the time, it doesn't lose or gain any time. It's just kind of like a visual bug.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Dylan's gonna have to redo the fight, I believe, and that's gonna cost him a lot of time.
No, I'm pretty sure he's good.
Oh, did he get the timepiece?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that. My bad. Okay. So yeah, he's just doing just fine.
It's a little weird thing.
Headstrong's still doing pretty good. No major mistakes on her side. Dylan's also going for contract, or for Vanessa.
Yeah, it might be a little tough to tell who's in the lead for a while because the route differential.
So yeah, we'll know for sure who's ahead or behind after this entire chapter's over. So in addition to the toilet, we're also doing the snatcher fight. Is that right?
Yeah.
There's a quickish kill you can do on him, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's also weird.
Yeah.
But it's cool though, because Snatcher's cool and the music is cool, so I like it.
Best boss fight music in the entire game by far.
Agree.
All the music in this game is wonderful, but I'd have to say that specific track is the best.
Close second for me is the final phase of Mustache Girl.
That's a good one. All the music in Alpine's really good as well.
It's a shame we don't listen to even 90%.
Yeah, all the acts are just way too long, and there's a big cutscene at the start. So no way it's probably ever going to be optimal. But at least you have categories like all timepieces that feature it.
All timepieces, all acts, I believe. And I guess you could consider all riffs, but I mean, you don't actually see Alpine. Headstrong's just going to hit that bell there, and the game wants you to go all the way around, but you can hit the bell or not hit the bell and just grab the timepiece from there. Hitting the bell is much safer though, because you can land on the platform if you miss the timepiece itself.
Yeah, definitely worth going for in a race for that reason. It doesn't lose much time at all. It acts as a good safety net.
Falling there is about 10 seconds with the checkpoint spawn. Do you know if Dylan did Village yet?
I don't think so.
Alright, I think then Headstrong is like 1 level ahead right now.
I don't think Dylan's done Village yet. I've been looking at Headstrong's feed more often than Dylan's lately.
I believe after this, Headstrong goes on to Snatcher.
And Headstrong's audio is on, so you'll be able to hear that glorious music we've been talking about.
Yep. Fortunately, you won't hear the whole thing, but you know, it's better than nothing.
True.
Alright, so the weird thing about the Snatcher fight is, for some reason, it's easier to play on 720p, or generally just a lower resolution. I'm not sure why, but let's see if Headstrong changes it, or maybe she's already playing on 720. That looks like she's just going straight into it. Because there's a special spot we're going to be attacking Snatcher from, and by timing your attacks well, you can get a bunch of hits in, and kill him very, very quickly.
Look at that.
Now we just gotta wait it out because we gotta wait
Yeah.
for a special potion.
Can you end the fight earlier than this phase?
No, because I think you need the potion, or else you can't kill him.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, and Headstrong is all done. That's it. Now she just has to watch the ending cutscene for the fight. It's really cute. Stay and have fun.
And become BFFs. Now we get our soul back. So if we do bag skip, we actually have 2 souls here.
Dylan will be going for Snatcher right now, so it's safe to say he's about 2 minutes behind of Headstrong.
Yeah.
And I believe that wraps up the whole chapter. She might be going for chapter 3 now. Yeah, definitely. Or chapter 2, I meant.
Yep. Gotta make that cheeseburger now. Ooh, good cheeseburger,
Ooh.
RNG.
Looks very delicious. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Ooh.
So chapter 2 is called Battle of the Birds, and it's all about 2 characters, Conductor and DJ Grooves. They are competing for Award 42, and they have to make the best movie. So all the acts here are themed after movie sets and movies, and it's really, really cool. Some of these levels are also quite broken.
Yeah, the level Headstrong's on right now is kind of a stealth mission, sort of. We'd have to be avoiding the view of the penguins here, because they'll reset us to our last checkpoint, and do 1 damage.
Dylan also got the Snatcher pretty quickly, it seems like. Some of these penguins can be really dangerous. There's one coming up that we nicknamed the Terminator, because the moment he spots you, you're instantly gone, and you have to go back to the last checkpoint, which is rather far away compared to where he is. Usually the penguins will give you a little bit of leeway whenever they spot you, but this one right here on Headstrong's feed does not.
Wow.
Oh, and you got terminated.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of that. That sucks.
Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was actually really risky. I would have waited there personally.
Oh well.
You never know with this penguin.
She'll be fine now, though. It looks like. Just has to go to the end and talk to the king penguin himself.
The DJ himself.
Feel free to let us know in chat who you like more, Conductor or Grooves.
Ooh, Dylan gets a bad cheeseburger RNG there. Having to swap them.
We have 3 conductors, or 4 conductors. And it looks like 3 grooves.
It's pretty
So
close.
it's split. A little bit more for conductor.
But if you had a pet, what do you think the name
Ooh,
of your
Headstrong
pet's
having a little bit of trouble here with the
Hmm.
popped up keyboard. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that can be really annoying, especially when you play on controller. You can get by it pretty quickly on keyboard, apparently, but it's kind of a nuisance when you're just using controller. So Murder on the Owl Express is a level where it's like a murder mystery movie, and you have to find out who killed one of the owls on the train. Normally you would go around collecting evidence, but we don't do that. You just kind of have to hit all the necessary triggers to progress, and you don't have to get any evidence. It's really cool. And there's a lot of sequence breaks coming up.
Yeah, it's a great level casually. It's really fun. And the clock that's going to be on screen here, it doesn't actually represent any sort of time. It just comes up based on where we are on the train and hitting certain triggers. So Headstrong's going to be going for the big sequence break here. We're not supposed to be able to hit that switch there, but by getting onto the shelf, we can get there. It's one of the reasons we play on 1.0, because that's been patched out in later versions. The weird thing about that room is a cutscene is supposed to be played there, I'm pretty sure. And so after a certain amount of time, we get reset when the cutscene was supposed to end. Really clean movement off that door there.
Yeah.
You do have to be careful there, because if you use the key in that keyhole, you'll have to go grab another key, and that's a lot of time.
So since you don't get any evidence, you can just go ahead and convict conductor and call it a day.
Headstrong here is doing Picture Perfect, which is a very different level from the rest. We're just going to be going around and trying to collect Diva points so we can get Max Diva. The way we do this is by talking to the penguins and getting our picture taken, as well as doing some work for DJ Grooves here. And the way Headstrong's going is kind of like the reverse route from the original way we did it. It's literally the exact opposite for the most part as the old route. And the reason why we do it this way now is because for some reason, if we go the opposite way around, the dog there at the end spawns without having to trigger a little cutscene. So we can save time there and just hit the dog down, save him without talking to DJ Grooves first. Headstrong is going to be doing Gallery, which is the first space shift rift that we do. And this is another place in the run where runners like to have a lot of different routes, but the routing doesn't actually change the time you'll get in the end. So we'll see if Dylan decides to go for Gallery after Picture Perfect as well. And what she's doing there is she wall climbs and purposely jumps off to trigger a checkpoint. So when she falls, she'll spawn back up there.
So as we noted earlier, if you're familiar with the speed run, we're not going to be doing Big Parade, or neither runner is going to be doing Big Parade because that's what we sacrificed. Save some time. But yeah, as noted by others in the chat, there is a really active Discord for this game. You can find that on the leaderboards. And there's also many guides available to get into running the game. I would also recommend personally watching some top level runs and just getting an idea of what they do in terms of strats and movement and routing.
Yeah, Hand Time's in a really good spot right now. A lot of active runners and just a lot of world record trading going on right now. It's really great. New route being discovered. It's really active. So Headstrong right now is on the AliExpress Rift, which is a really brutal cycle-based level. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like she's going to get the first cycle here, which isn't too big of a deal, but it is like a strict time loss. Unfortunately, it looks like Dylan missed the rotating platforms there. Those are really annoying to land on. It's really hard to judge where they'll be if you're not used to it. So now Headstrong is on doing train rushes, which is one of the reasons why we need the hookshot badge, and one of the reasons we do Chapter 3 before 2. As to start this level, we actually need the hookshot badge to activate the level from starting. So now Headstrong is going to be crafting the final hat that we're going to be needing to finish the run. Ooh, looks like Dylan actually missing the checkpoint there. That's really unfortunate. So yeah, during that cutscene, once again, we make the ice hat, which we'll need, I think, to use only once during the, or to get into mailroom, which will be the last level before finale. So now Headstrong is done with Chapter 2, Battle of the Birds, and she's going to be heading into Mafia Town once again to complete the purple rift that we unlocked because of the cheeseburger relic. And the fastest entry here is down with the Mafia. Looks like Dylan's having some trouble with gallery. The hitbox for the balloons are quite deceiving. So this is the first and only purple rift we do in any percent. And how the purple rifts work is there's a bunch of floors, and we need to clear each of the floors by grabbing a certain amount of, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're kind of like rift pawns. And we need to collect a certain amount that's specified and bring them to the end to access the next floor. We can carry pawns over to the next floor, but in this one I don't believe we collect any extras.
Headstrong still has a pretty good lead over Dylan, but Dylan's also doing pretty well here. This level is also a new addition to the new route that we're doing, with the toilet quick kill and all that. This level was also featured in the speedrunning build that came out prior to the game's release by a few weeks.
Yep. Headstrong opting not to use the dino hat. And Headstrong is now doing the real last level in Mafia Town, cheating the race. So normally we would need the time, well, the intended way to beat this level is using a time stop hat. That is, the yarn is found in the final chapter of the game, but we don't need it to beat the level if we use fast movement to beat this guy on the rocket here, the fastest man in the world.
Fastest Mafia alive.
Dylan's having trouble with this tile section here on train.
Oh, and Headstrong unfortunately falls down and has to restart the race.
That's really unfortunate. Is quitting out faster there?
It doesn't seem like it. I was wondering the same.
Yeah, it's about 40 seconds if you lose the race there each time.
Why did Headstrong go back again? I
Did she enter
wonder.
the wrong level? I didn't see.
Maybe. Yeah, well, I didn't see for sure either.
No, actually, I remember her doing that prompt. I think she did enter it. I'm not sure.
Huh. So yeah, that'll definitely allow Dylan to catch up a bit here. Dylan's also going to be going to cheat in the race. So they're actually kind of even for the most part. Maybe about a 30-second delta between the two.
Dylan still has to do Mafia of Cooks, actually.
Oh, does he? I didn't notice.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's still a little bit of a gap.
Well, we can see here what the time Headstrong gets. So 42-40. And that's the reason why we need the ice hat right there to enter the male room. Ooh, the birds.
Oh,
boy.
those birds. If those birds hit you, they give you a lot of knockback.
Yeah.
And if you get close to them, they can be pretty difficult to dodge, since they run so fast.
Yeah, they're ruthless. They can actually hit each other, which is pretty funny, but
Yeah,
you don't see that
sometimes you'll see
often.
them. You'll see them just knock each other off the edge.
Here we go!
Snow Headstrong has 25 timepieces, which is enough to activate this cutscene here and enter finale.
So this level is the big reason why we play on the 1.0 build of the game. Coming up, there's going to be a skip where Headstrong goes out of bounds through a hole in the wall. And that hole is patched on everything else besides 1.0.
So what we can do here actually on Headstrong's screen is get onto this platform, and if we get timer jumps early enough, we can get up here without waiting an extra cycle for the elevator. And then we can use this clock right here to jump the gap over the fence. Switches off of Dino Hat.
No.
I think she got forced onto the Dino Hat somehow, because she didn't select it before. So now Dylan's on cheating the race. Let's see if he can make up some lost time here.
Yeah.
So in Dylan's routing, he actually grabbed the yarn here at cheating the race and crafted it during that cutscene. I'm not sure what the time difference there is, but it shouldn't be like anything too big.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, Headstrong just passed through that hole and is going to damage boost up onto a little platform. And there's some textures here that we can actually wall jump off of to get up on top of the roof. And the roof can be pretty finicky. There's a lot of invisible walls and things that you can slide on. So you have to watch out for those getting up here.
So it looks like Dylan did fail cheating the race once, which is
That's
Which is
really
not good.
unfortunate.
Headstrong is on really good pace so far. This can definitely be sub 50, I believe.
Looks like she's going for safe slides. I don't know too much about them, so I can't really say much about that. But she's what I do know is that by getting up a little bit earlier, she's bypassing some of these invisible walls instead of sliding past them. There's a couple ways you can go about doing finale. This is the second fastest and second safest way. Oh no, she
Oh
bumped.
no. Too steep of an angle there, unfortunately. That's a lot of time lost.
She didn't have to return to hub though.
Why? I don't know why she did that. She could have just waited for Hat Kid to die and just respawned at the start of the inside sequence.
Yeah, that's a lot of extra time she lost there. So normally what would happen if you bonk there is you would fall into the lava and you would die and you would spawn inside the castle. But I guess she thought she soft locked and decided to exit the hub. This race is getting closer and closer here.
Yeah, well, looks like Dylan's messing up the rift or the time rift here, but still, this gap has been shortened a lot.
Yeah, and his load
Because of
time
that
seems
mistake
to
at
be
the
a
end.
little bit slower, so this gap is much smaller than it seems. This is why I always say anything can happen in a race. You really never know until finale.
Yeah, this is
Well,
the
even
game
in
changer right
finale,
here.
you don't know. Oh, and she gets warped back, so she has to kill herself here.
Oh no!
Wow.
And Dylan's about to get into finale in a few moments. If Headstrong fails this again, Dylan could very well take the lead. What happened there?
I'm not.
Oh no!
Oh no. Okay,
Will
can
she do
try
it on
again,
one
though.
life? Okay, yeah, she's going for it. That's a risky strat going in with one life because if you die, if you get hit once on Mustache Girl, you're obviously going to be dead and you have to go all the way back.
Yeah. The only upside of having one health is that you can't get soft locked from falling into the hole. About a 40-second time difference in loads, so you do have to keep that in mind. Headstrong going for the safe slides again.
Not a bad idea at all.
The more and more I see safe slides, the less I think they're safe. Oh, Dylan actually taking a death too. Alright, looks like Headstrong got up safely. She's just gotta beat the first face of Mafia Girl and she should be safe. Oh, Mustache Girl.
Mafia Girl. Ooh, that looks risky. Barely made it. Wow.
Okay, there we go, but we're
I
not
was
safe
really
yet.
concerned for a moment.
See, if she dies here, she'll have to start completely over again. You can get some good multiple hits here in this phase of the fight. Looks like she's playing it safe here. There we go. Okay,
Alright.
she's safe.
So at this point, you get your health back, and you also get a checkpoint.
Oh, Dylan actually got stuck warped back to the beginning of the slides.
Oh no.
At least he didn't die. So what happens in this game is if the game thinks you're stuck, then the game will teleport you back to your last safe position, or at least where the game thinks you were last safe. So what happened there is Dylan got stuck and he got teleported back to the beginning of the slides. Dylan actually going for full slides. I didn't realize. So you're in the Mustache Girl fight. When she goes into the air and throws those timepieces, you're not supposed or intended to be able to hit her up there. But if you charge her up Brewing Potion and do a well-timed double jump, you can hit her while she's up there. And we can get some good hits in. And this is another big instance of RNG in the run, is this cherry phase here. When she puts herself into a shield, the amount of times she'll reset her shield after getting hit can vary between, I believe you can get 1 and up to 5 at max. So you'll see here, she can get some hits in, but then she put her shield up instantly. Well, it does look like that Dylan made it into the fight here. Getting a nice double there. Okay, well now Headstrong is done with the first phases of Mustache Girl. She should be safe for the rest of the run. Which, you know, isn't much.
Red Hood Get lost!
So you won't know who won until both of them are done, however, or Dylan's time passes Headstrong's due to load times. So during this phase that Headstrong is on, you're actually invincible for the most part. You can take damage, but your health will instantly be regenerated. I don't think you can die, but that's not to say you're absolutely safe, because Mustache Girl can do some crazy things here, like falling through the stage, but it looks like she's good. And that should be a 53? No. Oh, Headstrong, no! You don't have that much of a lead? Okay, she finishes with a 53.04. Now we just gotta wait and see what Dylan gets here. Actually, I think with where Dylan is, I believe Headstrong wins. Yeah, I don't think Dylan can win here. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, it's gonna look like Headstrong's gonna take this one. But it was very close until the end there. Dylan is almost done here, though, going into the final phase here. So congratulations to Headstrong for winning this one. And there we go, Dylan is now done. Very close race though. About a minute and 15 separating the two here. There we go. I am not sure if either runner is going to be in here for an interview. I'll have to check.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have one of them join us. This race was really, really fun to watch. And both runners really weren't that far off of each other, just about a minute.
Yeah, Dylan was about 45 seconds off of PB there. So that was pretty close.
Hi there.
Hey, hey, Headstrong. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. I have no idea what I bonked on in finale.
Yeah, that was really
Not sure
weird.
either.
I think it was because your angle might have been too steep. It happened to me too.
I didn't think I was too steep at all. I was just kind of like riding like the invisible wall there and I just bonked.
Oh. We also have Dylan joining us.
How's it going? Yeah, that was actually a really close match. If I didn't mess up cheating the race or just get reset back to the beginning on final slide, I actually would have had a slight chance there.
Yeah, no, that was definitely really close.
Yeah, it was a really good race.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, it really came down to the end there. It was really exciting, actually. It was really hard to tell who was going to take it there. So what are your thoughts on the run, each of you?
Very messy. I made some silly mistakes.
Yeah, it happens to all of us.
I
Yeah.
messed up a lot in Subcon well, just to really dumb mistakes. Like, my fight with the Snatcher was really slow.
Mhm.
Could have done better on that one. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. I could have PB'd, though. That was really close.
Yeah, that seemed really close because your PB is a 53, right?
Yeah, it's a 53-15. I just
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Yeah, I went for bag skip, even though I hadn't been practicing it at all today. I figured I'd try anyway.
No.
Didn't even
If you
get the
go-
STJ off the tree.
Yeah, if you go for it once, it doesn't lose that much time, so why not?
Yeah. I usually opt to not go for it unless I'm going for a PB.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
decided to go
understandable.
for it.
So, Headstrong, because you won this, you're going to be facing against the winner of Hija and Sephi. How do you feel about going to that?
Isn't it between Spy and Swar, actually?
Is it?
I think so.
Hmm.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Hija Sephi.
I don't think.
It says on the bracket here that the winner of Doka Sonic goes against the winner of Spy Sewer.
No, I get the loser of them.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I misunderstood that.
Yeah, I get the loser of Spy and Swar. Pretty sure I'll lose that one because I'm not playing Hat very much at the moment, but I will still try my best.
Yeah, and they're very talented runners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played the game very much because I've been focusing on other things.
Hmm.
Because I'm not getting anywhere near my PB, and I would need to beat my PB to beat either of them. So,
Are you liking the new route though?
oh yeah, I'm happy with the new route. I'm actually the one who routed the route a long time ago,
Wow, nice.
and it ended up being slower with the old toilet quick kill. So I'm glad to see it finally in.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's a
rest
lot
in
more
peace,
fun.
Big Parade. The magic will never be forgotten.
I love listening to the music there, but I hated doing the play. I hated playing the level.
I know, it's a 4-minute long auto scroller.
Hmm.
If you want to call playing the level.
Anyways,
Yeah.
any other thoughts either of you want to add before we end off tonight?
No, mostly just, it was a good game and it was a good fight.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
But yeah, that concludes all the matches for today, I think. Let me check and see what we got going on in the future so we can inform you guys of that. Just pull up the schedule.
It looks like the next race is going to be Tuesday at 3 p.m. EDT. There's going to be 2 races on Tuesday, actually. So if you like what you see here, and you're into Hat, and you want to see more, definitely check in on Tuesday. We got 2 races for you guys.
Yeah, we got Selfie Compacto versus Hija, and then Flare Bear versus Enhan. Those races are going to be fun. Definitely recommend checking those out.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's all I got to say. Anything you want to add, Freak, before we end the show?
I just want to say thank you everybody for watching. It's been a pleasure, Kona.
Likewise, dude.
Yeah, and that's basically
That's
it.
it.
All right, see you, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the race.
Later.
All right, I just ended the episode.